At 20 years old, I made over six figures in the trades. I repeat, six figures in the trades. Not from crypto, not from being some online guru, and definitely not from selling motivational courses about waking up at 4 a.m. All I did was become an electrician. And the reason I start the video like this is because a lot of people grow up believing something that they never actually stop to question. From the time you're in school, you hear the same message over and over again. Go to college, get a degree. That's the smart path. That's the safe path. That's how people build success for their future. But here's something nobody really sits down and explains to most young people. College is not the only smart option. And for some people, it might not even be the best one. Now, before somebody gets offended, let's be clear. College absolutely makes sense for certain careers. If you want to be a doctor, you need school. If you want to be a lawyer, my lawyer better have went to school. And if you want to be an engineer, school is going to make sense. But the problem is when people start acting like college is the only intelligent choice, because it's not, that's when you are living a false dream. And the crazy part is there's another path sitting in front of people that most of them never actually consider. The trades. Electrician, plumber, welder, HVAC technician, carpenter, iron worker. These are careers where you're not just studying theory for 4 years hoping it turns into something. You're learning skills that literally make the modern world function. Just think about it for a second. Every building you walk into has electricity. Every house has plumbing. Every hospital, school, and office building depends on systems that actually work. And when those systems stop working, somebody has to fix them. That somebody is usually someone in the trades. But here's what's interesting. Most people graduate high school knowing the name of 30 to 40 colleges, but they have no idea how someone becomes an electrician or a plumber or a welder. Nobody explains that path. Nobody explains what the training looks like. Nobody explains what the career progression looks like. Nobody explains the money. And that's why a lot of people end up following the same script without ever questioning it. Graduate high school, go to college, take out student loans, spend 4 years trying to figure out what it is you actually want to do. Then graduate and finally start your adult life already in debt. Meanwhile, there's another group of people doing something completely different. They're learning trades. They're getting paid while they learn. They're building real world skills. And every year those skills become more valuable. When I first got into the electrical trade, one thing I noticed pretty freaking quickly was the people around me weren't just working random jobs. They had knowledge. They had real knowledge. They could walk into a building and understand how the electrical system worked. They could read blueprints. They could troubleshoot problems that would confuse 99.9% of people who had a PhD. And that kind of knowledge builds over time. Every year you're learning something new. Every job site you're getting better. Every project you work on is another piece of experience. And eventually something interesting happens. You become valuable. Not because of degree, but because of what you actually know how to do. Now, something most people really don't realize is that there's a massive shortage of electrical workers, skilled trades workers, plumbers. These guys are retiring. Not enough young people are entering the industry, which means that demand for skilled workers keeps going up. And when demand goes up, the value of that skill goes up. That's why people in the trade can build really strong careers. And sometimes it's going to happen much faster than people expect. I'm not about to pretend this is easy. It's not. You waking up early. You working hard. You in the cold. You're in the heat. Sometimes you crawling through an attic wondering how you ended up covered in insulation at 6 in the morning. But what the trades give you in return is something a lot of people never develop. A real skill. Something you can take with you anywhere in the world. Something that people will always need. And once you have that skill, your options will expand. Some people stay in the trade their entire life and make great money. You got other people that eventually start businesses. You got some that move into leadership roles, project management, estimating, crews, running work. But it all starts with learning a trade. And that's why I think it's important for people to hear this perspective. And it's not because college is bad, but because the idea that college is only the only smart option is simply not true. Different people, no pun intended, are wired differently. Some people love academics. Some people love building things. Some people want to work with their hands. Some people want to see the results of their work at the end of the day. And for those people, the trades can be an absolutely incredible path. Now, if you're someone who's curious about getting to the trades, you want to understand how that path actually works, that's exactly why the Blue Collar Circle exists. The Blue Collar Circle is a community building around helping people learn about the trade, understand different career paths, and connect with people who are already in the industry. Because the reality is, a lot of people never even get exposure to this world. And sometimes, all it takes is seeing what's possible to start thinking about your future differently. So if learning a trade is something you've been thinking about, this Blue Collar Circle is there for people who want to explore that path and see what opportunities actually exist in the trade. Link in the description down below. And the biggest thing I want people to take away from this video is simple. Do not let anyone convince you there's only one path to success. For some people, it might be college. But for a lot of people, the opportunity that you're looking for might actually be sitting in the trades. Don't limit yourself. It's time to be undeniable. Let's go.